Hey gang, it's Bryan from FXBilliards. Today I'm going to show you how to get in a full practice session in 30 minutes. Now, those of you that think I made that by luck, let me just do it again just to show you this shot is almost automatic. Anyway, that said, I'm going to teach you how to get in a full practice session in 30 minutes. This does not mean that you should only practice for 30 minutes. It means that you should put in the amount of practice necessary for you to get yourself to the level that you want to get to. This means if you want to be a professional, you better start knocking out some 8 and 10-hour days for the next 5 or 10 years, because that's the kind of practice that you're going to need. If you want to be the best on your APA team and you're practicing 5 hours a week, guess what? You're practicing 5 hours more than all your people that are on your team. You got to have some 6s and 7s and 8-ball that are putting in some practice time, but a lot of people are not practicing at all. So don't think that you're practicing because you're playing, which is number one rule that you need to understand in this 30-minute practice. How you use your time is key. If you only have 30 minutes or 60 minutes to practice, don't mess around with trick shots. The reason I can do that is because I've had thousands of hours at the pool table. So at some point I got bored and learned how to do that. Now, don't spend time on trick shots. Don't spend time on exotic shots that you're not going to play. Every time we show a video where we're running balls in rotation, somebody inexperienced to the game or unknowledgeable about the game says, "Oh, you guys take ball in hand after the break. Where did this come from? Why are you taking ball in hand?" We don't need to practice our ability to make a miracle shot after the break when we can get in reps shooting balls in rotation and playing position. So stop wasting time doing things that you don't need to do. If you only have 30 or 60 minutes in a day, a week, or some cases a month, make the best use of that time. What is the best use of that time? Break your 30-minute or your 60-minute practice session down into 2 categories. I'm going to give you guys a layout that I feel that works, that I give to my students that have a limited amount of time, and this is going to help you. But key things, know why you're at the table. We're not here to play, we're here to practice. Number 2, stop wasting time. You've got 15 or 20 hours a week to practice. Yeah, get that shot in your game. Until then, learn how to run racks. This also means don't waste your time on massé shots, bank shots, jump shots if you don't have more than 30 or 60 minutes to practice. Yes, you want to have a jump shot. Yes, you want to have a bank shot. But if you're spending time practicing bank shots more than you're practicing position, you are on the wrong team, in the wrong camp, listening to the wrong people, and doing the wrong things at the table. You want to learn to play better position so you don't have to shoot more bank shots. Here are 2 lists. What I suggest is that you treat this like the menu at a Chinese restaurant. Pick a drill from line A and do it, and a drill from line B and do it, and get in your 30 minutes practice doing something from A and something from B. At the end of this video, I'm going to describe each of these different drills to you and help you figure out which ones are going to be best for your game. If you've got 10, 12, 14 hours a day or a week or whatever to practice, do whatever you want. But if you only have a limited amount of time, make sure you're using it wisely. As I mentioned earlier, you're going to be picking one of 2 drills from category A and one of 2 drills from category B. You can mix them up. You can do one day, one another day. But if you only have 30 minutes, these are the drills that I think you will get the most productivity out of in the shortest period of time. Now, a lot of you will recognize the drill on the screen as the acid test. This drill will work on your shot-making ability along with your ability to make mid-range draw shots. Now, our starting point is usually balls halfway down the table, regardless of the size table you're on, and our cue ball in the kitchen, so that's behind the second diamond. And you have ball in hand, and you're just giving yourself straight-in shots and drawing the cue ball back to the rail. If you have trouble making the shot or drawing the cue ball back to the rail, Shorten the distance between the cue ball and the object ball and make the shot easier, and then slowly, always slowly, work your way back until you have the cue ball 2 diamonds away from your object ball. What I recommend is if you miss a shot, just simply put the ball back on the table in the spot where it was and shoot it again. You may find yourself making only 60, maybe 50% of these. If that's the case, you have to make the shot easier until you're making about 70 or 80% of the shots. So you can see here I missed that 5 ball and it just wrecks everything. So I'm just going to toss it out, make it a tougher shot when I do need to shoot it. But anything you want to do to work your way through the drill, just don't make it too easy. Don't make it too difficult. And if it is too easy for you, slowly work your way to make the drill more and more difficult. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit for you guys. And just keep in mind that there's nothing magical about these drills. Every drill that you see on YouTube or on our channel, anywhere, is just something made up by some guy. So you can design your own drills, but in this 30-minute practice, what I'm recommending is 2 shot-making drills, this being one of them, and then 2 position drills. So let's take a look at our next shot-making drill. If you haven't heard of the X drill or the Mighty X, I'm not sure where you've been. But this is the X drill, and I'm just kind of freestyling on this. I'm going to shoot some stop shots, some follow shots, some draw shots. And what we do, if you're not familiar with this drill, is your cue ball is going to go 2 diamonds up and 1 diamond over. That's where my cue ball is right now. And your object ball is going to be at the opposite end, 2 diamonds up and 1 diamond over. Now, if you take the time, which I very rarely do, to measure this off, you will have a perfectly straight line. And when you have that perfectly straight line, you can work on trying to follow the cue ball into the pocket. Or if you're super ambitious, you can shoot a draw shot and bring the cue ball all the way back to the pocket that you're shooting from. So you don't have to shoot 7-foot-long draw shots. You can work on your stop shots here. You can work on your follow shots. This gives you an opportunity to also move the cue ball closer. If you're not making the shot, if the shot is not automatic for you, if you're not able to stop the ball, if you're not able to follow past the object ball once you make contact, especially if you're not able to draw it back to where you're shooting from, just make the shot shorter and easier. You do not have to shoot it from this level. This is an extreme thing. You see, I followed that in the pocket, which would be perfect. And it's a lot easier to do, like I said, if you measure off the shots. But you don't have to follow these into the pocket for it to be a success. I'm probably going to shoot 50 on any given day, and I will count how many I make, how many I miss, until I have shot the 50 or the 100 that I'm going to shoot. And I'll log that score and try to beat it the next time I'm at the table. The next exercise, which I think is one of the best things that you can do if you are a 8-ball player or 9-ball player or 10-ball player, is to simply shoot balls in rotation against the ghost. Now, those of you that aren't familiar with the process, we break. We generally take ball in hand. I didn't take ball in hand on this because I didn't mind the shot that I had. But you take ball in hand and you shoot the balls off just like a 9-ball rack. You're going to shoot them in rotation order, which just simply means in numerical order. If you take ball in hand, you will get more bang for the buck out of this thing. Do not be that guy that is kicking around the 1 ball for about 10 minutes because he thinks, well, in a game of 9-ball, I wouldn't have ball in hand. I'd have to make it. Stop trying to do miracle shots in your practice sessions that are just taking away from your reps. So many players would be so much better if they stopped wasting time doing stupid things in their practice sessions that they're never going to do, that no one is ever going to do in a real game. Just work your way through the rack. If you get out of line, if you get an impossible shot, take ball in hand. Now, some players will practice their safety play here if they don't get in line for a shot. That is not what you want to do in a 30-minute practice. If you're practicing and you only have 30 minutes, put in as many reps playing position as you can. So let's get in those reps. That is far more important. So I'm going to speed up the next rack, and then we'll look at something else. Now notice I'm practicing this with a magic rack. I don't always play with the magic rack, but I recommend if you're going to be shooting 9 balls against a ghost, you want to use a magic rack for the simple reason it tells you exactly what is happening with those balls when you break them. If you are breaking without a magic rack, the rack is a lot more random and you're not getting proper feedback on your ability to make a wing ball, to make the head ball, to control the cue ball, because everything is based on, well, how well were those balls racked. So keep that in mind. The next drill I'm doing may apply to only about 15 or 20% of you, but if you're a straight pool player, just break and run straight pool racks. Make this 1/3 or 1/2 of your practice session. You can also, if you're not a straight pool player, just break the balls normally like you would with 8-ball and shoot them off in any order. I'm using straight pool as an example just because it's more challenging. I don't think we talk about straight pool as much as we should on this channel and many other channels, by the way. So whether you're just breaking the balls and shooting them off in any order, you're going to be playing position. So this is from column B, your second in the position-making category of your practice session, with the straight-in shots from the X drill and the shots from the acid test as well. Column B is about position play. And a lot of you are wasting time, believe it or not, playing 8-ball against yourself when you only have a few minutes. You want to run full racks. And the reason is, if you play 8-ball against yourself, you're going to have a very limited number of patterns, issues, problem shots, clusters, all of the things that you need to work on. If you just play a straight pool rack, you get to work on your stroke, your fundamentals, you get to focus in other areas while you also play position. And if you're brave enough to play a straight pool rack while you're doing this, your position play is very critical, especially as we get down to these last 4 or 5 balls and you try to get on the rack. Regardless of which one you choose, make sure you're getting in some reps just shooting balls in the pocket, guys. So I'm going to finish out this rack, and then the next one I'll play in 4 times speed just so we can see what happens.
Hey gang! If you enjoy FX Billiards on YouTube, you'll love FXBTV. It's the ultimate streaming platform for exclusive videos, tips, and techniques you won't find anywhere else. Whether you're a beginner or advanced player, we've got you covered. Plus, when you join, you'll get free access to all our master classes, a $150 value with more than 150 videos that will never air on YouTube. Plus, you will get to watch our YouTube videos before they go public. Watch them early, ad-free, and with tons of bonus content. Join now to lock in our special introductory rate and be part of the FX Billiards community.